What you got there?
So, mate, I've been going through the emails.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we have an email address of all the potential sponsors, and I found an interesting one here called Fanscape.
Fanscape? Did you?
No, I don't mean whatever you're about to say. I don't mean that.
What do they do?
It's a subscription service, and what they do is they find a fan each week of the show to come shave your balls.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws.
Not brought to you by Fanscape.
Yeah, obviously not. Dan, what's been bigger, the weekend or the news?
Well, we usually record on a Sunday evening, and this week someone was looking down upon us because Monday, all hell broke loose.
We start off with it.
We did. Look, we discussed
At length.
the nuts and bolts of this on the Knock On podcast, if you have a moment. But today we're going to go with what's happened just today.
The fallout. So obviously, by now, as you're watching this show, you will know that Lachlan Galvin, his management were approached by the Tigers for the biggest contract ever, and they said, we're just not interested. We don't want anything to do with it. Lachlan doesn't want to be there at the end of 2026. He's happy to stay. Now, it's all coming, he's getting tarred everywhere.
Yeah, he is.
What's the fallout?
Well, he's been dropped.
Okay.
Now, I thought last week he was their best. You said he wasn't.
Yep.
But the results were split on the zero tackle MVPs. He got votes from everyone. I had him as man of the match. They've dropped their best number 6 because supposedly, reportedly, the two, let's call them the best players,
the captains,
Api Coruscant and Jerome Luai, of high pedigree, have come out and said, we don't want to play with this kid. And Benji Marshall, who he has supposedly said, you can't coach, I'm not going to be any good under you, has said, you know what? Yeah, he's running out for the Magpies this week. This
kind of validates one of Lachlan Galvin's gripes at the club at the moment. So, in the first article that came out, Shamus, in detail, said that he's uncomfortable with the relationship that Benji has with Jerome Luai, and he's uncomfortable with the forced relationship that they're trying to make between him and Jerome Luai.
Yeah.
Now, this relationship with Benji and Jerome Luai has seen Lachlan Galvin get dropped.
Look, I suppose he's not wrong, but again, we're only going with what's reported. We're not Tigers insiders, thank God. He's come out and said, I don't want to play second fiddle to a bloke who's won 4 straight premierships, won an Origin, 2 Origin series, has been in a World Cup final, is one of the premier playmakers of the competition. I think more so now since Penrith have lost him and look what's happened. Not just him, of course, but it's got a lot to do with it. And he's come out and not play second fiddle. Well, mate, he wants a new coach and he doesn't want to play second fiddle. He's got them both this weekend for the Magpies. Yeah,
if he doesn't think Benji Marshall's going to get the best out of him, let's see what Aaron Payne can do for his career.
Maybe he's the bloke.
Yeah, maybe he's the bloke. Now, again, I've said this. The worst thing that has come out is what he said about Benji Marshall not being able to get the best out of him and doesn't think he's a good coach. Because he's heavily linked to Parramatta.
Yeah.
And I gave my thoughts on the knock on Jason Ryles being an even rookier coach, and they've got the worst for and against, or the worst against since the 1999 Magpies. Interesting to note that the Newcastle Knights have got the worst attack since the 1999 Magpies.
Good on the Magpies. We're not going to jinx that.
We're not going to jinx that, no. But either way that they're looking at it now, Galvin's manager seems to, like Isaac Moses, we don't want to say too much about him.
No.
But Galvin's manager has done him a massive disservice here. Galvin has then gone to Dave Riccio and dropped his side of the story as well. And the Tigers have dropped Lachlan Galvin.
Yep.
The Tigers are saying we're not going to release him. You have to release him.
I think that's on the board. But they don't have to release him. What they're going to do is say, you got to make it worth our while, which I like from the Tigers.
Yeah.
Last night on the show again, please check it out if you can, I said that most of the replies in my Twitter were of Tigers fans bagging Galvin. 1, saying he was never any good. I don't believe that. And 2, they're not too worried about him because the last 2 fine him. Okay, I can buy that. Today, everyone's saying we're glad we got Richo in charge. We're glad Benji's showing some stones. The players are standing up for the club. We saw Jerome Luai literally post on Instagram. It'll be deleted by now, saying club first and a fist up. We had Pole liking, I don't know whether it's actually him, but the report is that it was, liking that Galvin should be dropped or he should be playing in the props to get bashed. This kid is just, his future's up in the air right now, and I've got the second point. Where does it leave him? So maybe we can move into that. Because right now, the Tigers are going to say, well, Adam Dewey's a pretty handy number 6, 7. Yeah, but I mean, for the next few weeks, young Fainu, who they've decided is their go forward, he's coming straight back in when he's ready to go. They're not going to do anything to help Galvin go. Him playing with the Magpies, who are running last by a fair margin, is going to do nothing for him.
No, absolutely.
All this situation has done is any club that thought, geez, Galvin can play football, now they're thinking, he's playing New South Wales Cup for at least the next few weeks. Could be 18 months if we're being serious. I don't think it will, but it can. And he's got all these problems. He's got 20-something games and he's saying, I want this over Luai and I don't like the coach. Mate, you haven't earned the right to do any of that. I don't care how good you are.
Again, all of that comes from his manager.
Yeah, but he's letting it happen.
What can he do? Right, so the thing about player managers, they've got all the contacts in the media. He knows who he's got to go to, right? So, like, Galvin has probably just turned around and said to Isaac Moses, I don't really like Benji Marshall.
Get me out of here.
Yeah, I don't like Benji. He's there for the next couple of years. See if you can get me out of there. And then he's gone to the media and said he doesn't think that Benji's going to get the best out of him, right? Take it like it's every story that you get in the rugby league media is watered with so much piss and vinegar, right? I would say that 50% is true and 50% is lies.
Yeah, fair.
Right? And then 50% is lies and 50% is bullshit is the way that you want to go about it. I don't think any club is going to not take a shot at Lachlan Galvin if they can.
Yeah, but do they not want to deal with Moses?
Well, obviously the Roosters don't, and I think now that the West Tigers won't because of all the players that have left the Tigers to go to Manly.
Yep.
Parramatta have got a big link there with Moses. Manly have got the link with him as well. I think the Dogs have got some players. He's not going to be short of options.
No, he won't. He's a very good player. I'm not saying this is the end of his career by any chance. Probably he walk into 5 teams tomorrow. You know, you said you'd have him at Cronulla at lock.
He walks into 10 teams. Let's be real.
He's a freakish young player, but he's also a player that we've seen blokes come along. 3 years later, they're gone. They're out of the game, or they're playing in England, or they're playing a bit of reserve.
An ACL, like touch wood, it doesn't happen.
So for him to come out and do this so early, he's pretty much because the Tigers own him for the next 18 months. Now he's not on $1 million now. They can sit him. It's not going to hurt him. No, it's going to look terrible. People like us are going to talk about it every single week. If he tears up for the Magpies and the Tigers get beaten this weekend, I guarantee half the fan base will be calling for him. We're paying his wage. Why not pay him? The club have made it very clear they don't want him playing. The players have supposedly made it very clear. If I'm looking at it from the outside thinking $1 million is a big investment for a kid who's, you know, he's pretty easily swayed by his manager who in 2 years is going to want a bump up. I can't remember who said it, so I apologise for not crediting you. Someone said, okay, this is all good. No one knows who the player managers are. Now, you know Moses because he's known. But I couldn't name another manager. Everyone knows who Lachlan Galvin is. He's the one that's going to get booed playing this weekend. He's the one that's going to cop the abuse no matter where he goes. Moses can weasel in or worm in, whatever you want to refer to him, I agree, ×2, into anywhere with nothing except money in his pocket. Yeah,
and this was the point that I made on Twitter today. Looking at this, if I now was a parent of an upcoming megastar rugby league player, I'd be saying to himself, negotiate. Give Luke Lewis a quick 15-minute phone call because he negotiated every contract in his career and he backflipped on one.
Yep.
So
get Luke Lewis as your manager. He looks like they'll go.
Yeah, get Luke Lewis. Like, I mean, I don't get the point in playing managers. You're paying them 5% of your contract to do something that you can do yourself. Yeah, everyone can go to the media. Mate, our DMs are open if you want. We're not above. Yeah. We're trying to sell out here and no one will get us. But I found it funny because... Rugby League Outlaws player management services. Look, maybe there's some money in that. But how many of these shows have we seen? Oh, I think this, no, I think this. You look and their mates are on the side. Yeah. We straight up corner as we see it. I think he's been portrayed rightfully as a brat. Mm-hmm. He's a very, very good player. You got to weigh up which is more important. Premierships. So there was another dummy spat that just completely went above me on the weekend. Yeah. I was in the car on the way to Dubbo when this happened. Fair enough. Lucky you. So what happened? Well, evidently, I won't go into it because flat chat, I don't care. Spencer Leniu and Jonathan Thurston had a blow up on the sideline. Google what happened. I straight up don't care. Mm-hmm. Today I've seen someone come out and say, Origin's going to be fiery this year. You got Spencer Leniu. You got Jonathan Thurston. I have one issue with this. Spencer Leniu should be nowhere near the friggin' New South Wales team. Yeah, look, the way that he's playing at the moment, Jonathan Thurston should have more chance of getting selected for Queensland than he should for New South Wales. And then today we were listing off names of players. Yeah, look, I think, I hope Laurie Daly picks him.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. When it comes to Laurie Daly, you probably see Spencer Leniu and Jake Trbojevic while Payne Haas coming off the bench playing 11 minutes, and you got Terrell May running the water. But let's just go into it. Payne Haas and Terrell May are the New South Wales props.
Yep.
They're arguably Australian props. Mm-hmm. Carrigan and Tino might have something to say with it. Yep. Whatever. I'm done. On the bench, people are like, well, who's better? Well, Mitch Barnett gets a spot.
Mitch Barnett walks into that.
I think Lindsay Smith is the best prop off the bench so far this season. Now, I know Penrith are doing terrible.
Lindsay Smith starts. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's so good.
Yeah.
So there's 4. I'd name Liam Martin at prop before. I'd put Ola Kawatu in the middle before, because Spencer Leniu is a bloke who come on, and you'll see if you're like
Max King.
Max
King's name should be in
both
there.
Kings.
Josh King's name should be in there. Yeah. Liam, there's Stefano should be. I would play Liam Henry.
Yeah, 100%.
Before,
he's in terrible form. He can't.
He's a terrible human.
He should have just walked away. Like, who cares that Thurston's standing there? He's from Channel 9. Channel 9 cover most of the Friday night games. Well, at least one every friggin' week is what I'm saying. He had to walk away.
Yeah.
I cannot believe this was anything. I'm not commenting on what happened because I said I don't care, and I stand by that. But for him to get distracted by that, what's to say a Queenslander doesn't go out there and goes, "Oi, Jonathan Thurston's my favourite player." Snot him, 10 in the bin, we're down.
Mate, the thing is now is they know they're going to, like, everyone, this weekend you should be ribbing him.
Absolutely you should. JT says you're a bad footballer.
Yeah.
Just get into him and he's likely to get up and do something.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it painted him in a very negative light, but I care only about the New South Wales Blues. Sack Laurie Daly.
Mm-hmm. Now, Jamal Fogarty to Manly, is it official?
Not yet, because they can't technically speak to him till he's declined his option. Or Canberra have declined his option, I mean.
Now, Canberra are doing whatever they can to convince Fogarty to stay, but again, it's only a 1-year deal. Fogarty's got the 2-year deal. There was the leak that came out that Ricky Stewart was in tears after speaking with Fogarty, because Fogarty said, I want to take the option for his family. Well, Fogarty's what, 31, 32? This is probably going to be his last big deal.
You're a huge fan of his.
I love Jamal Fogarty. If you were to say to me, name an unabashed 1 to 17 that you enjoy watching every week and you don't know why, Jamal Fogarty's my number 7.
It's completely fair. It's funny.
He's so good.
If you want to know what Canberra fans think about him, go back and check what they said about him 3 weeks ago before this broke. Because I'm hearing a lot of, he's just a kicking game, he's just this, he's that. He's pretty much the entire Canberra attack right now, the plan side of it anyways, because we've seen what they can do off the cuff. I was shocked when this came out because I just figured Canberra are going to extend him.
Yep.
They're going to take the year. And I can't remember which way the option goes, but it just seemed like, they're going to give him 2 years.
Like, I get it, they've got Ethan Saunders.
That's great,
but he's a kid.
He's okay, and you can't have 2 young halves.
And Ethan Strange isn't really setting the world on fire.
No, and again, he's young. I go back to Newcastle. Everyone's saying, Fletcher Sharp this, Fletcher Sharp that. He hasn't got a first grade halfback, let alone an experienced one. You can't put 2 kids together and go, learn from each other. From what do they learn? And it's not like they have, I'm just going to throw a name out there, like a Chad Townsend in the system who's not playing first grade, but you can say, you got a couple hundred games, you got a premiership, you were around the Origin selection for a little bit.
And we've heard Chad on commentary, so he knows the game.
He knows.
He just can't execute it anymore.
No, he just can't play, but he knows the game. So if I'm Canberra, I'm going to Chad and saying, you want a New South Wales Cup deal, you can still call your games, because I actually thought he was really good.
Yeah, I thought he was
to say
really
something positive about him. I just think Canberra are missing a trick here.
I think Canberra, as I said, I love Fogarty, and I'm not endeared on Canberra. I don't like or loathe them, but I love Jamal Fogarty.
Manly.
And him going to Manly, we were all laughing and celebrating the crushing blow of DCE leaving them. Now, Fogarty is in nowhere, shape or form Daly Cherry Evans, but he's good.
He's pretty damn good. I think it's good for everyone except Canberra.
And speaking of not good,
I've been waiting for this all week.
Mates at the Titans, take it away.
So Des Hasler returned last year. Pretty ordinary, let's be honest. Yeah, you can write it off. First season back, AJ Brimson's always injured. He's got plenty.
He's not real good.
No, I disagree. He's got plenty of talent, but this and that. Well, this year, I think they've got a very good side. I think they've got a very, very bad coach. Now, the reason I say this is because Dave Fafita has been playing off the bench and it's been okay. Started this week and was their best player by a million trillion miles.
He was the second best player on the field in a team that lost by 20.
Genius footballer. That was dumb. Okay, whatever. Everyone makes a mistake. This week, Alan Fitzgibbon, he's named to start on the wing. You know, a bloke who I don't particularly think is very good at football. He's a New South Wales Cup level.
That's the quick. He was the North Sydney winger.
Yes, scored a mountain of tries, but conceded so many. You're thinking, okay, put him on the wing, whatever. No, not to be. Des Hasler outsmarts himself. So what he said is, nope, I'm going to move Philip Sami to the wing. I'm going to put Bo Foma on a pretty handy centre named Valentine Holmes. And I want to put this winger on the bench. Game's over. Winger comes on, drops the ball twice because he's got to do something on debut. A 28-year-old or whatever, he's a veteran by debutant standards after they've been torn up by Valentine Holmes. Mm-hmm. This bloke can't coach. And it's not just this, it's the Fafita thing, it's the fact he can't get the best out of AJ Brimson. He's named De Groot.
No one can.
No, he's named De Groot.
No one can.
Is an okay option when he has a ready-made fullback there in AJ Brimson, who he just flatly refuses to play at fullback. You don't play an average park football. No, Terry. You don't take an average park footballer in
AJ Brimson
and put him there and leave Brimson there. You put him at 5'8", or you do something. This guy has no idea. Every decision he makes is wrong, I hate it.
You just called De Groot an average park footballer. That's what Brimson is.
No, Brimson is a bloke that they just re-signed for 5 years or 4 years on big money.
And this is Hasler's call.
It's exactly right. Thank you.
Idiot.
Look, that's the whole reason I've written here. Yeah. Des Hasler sucks.
And so does Brimson.
I disagree.
Okay.
When Kieran Foran comes back, he has to go to 6, Brimson to 1. If I see any other version of that, I'm messaging the Titans, and I got connections and saying, fire this man immediately. I'm sick of it.
Rugby League Outlaws coaching.
Terry.
Talk to me, Dan.
Time to talk. Some black, white and blue, and we're back in the winner's circle. They tried to lose it.
They did.
Couldn't
lose it though.
I thought it was a pretty good game. I thought it was a pretty good performance.
I thought it was a really good performance from Cronulla in a few areas, and let me highlight one area that I thought that they really turned up and were enthusiastic, and that was our defence.
Agree.
Because Manly scored 1 try, which they just wanted it more, and it really sucked to see that try that was scored out wide, and then we gifted them 2 tries.
Yeah, we did.
Luke Brooks took the intercept, Talau takes the intercept, Cherry Evans scores untouched under the post, right? Outside of that, Manly created nothing. Mm-hmm. They didn't break our line in the first half.
Yeah, that's true.
It took them 60 minutes to break our line.
Yep.
We were flat out really good. Mm-hmm. Like, just really good. First half performance from Braden Trindle was awesome. Second half performance, you probably will want that back. Mm-hmm. I thought Nico Hines was fair across both halves, right? And then he put that nice in and away in for Ronaldo to set up a roadie. His kicking game was a lot deeper.
Yeah, he learned to kick again. What happened there? So maybe it's the Chris Perth air.
He was booting the absolute hell out of it. His running game was okay. One thing that you can't fault Nico Hines for this year is his defence.
Yep, second one.
He was awesome. Adam Fanua-Blake had a quieter game.
He did.
But someone went with him this week. And he's big and he's bald.
He's big and he's bald.
And he scored a try, and I didn't produce dids on the head yet. So I'm going to have to do that.
Well, that's owing.
But can we talk about the man
let's.
Who owns Perth?
Yeah, that's 2 years in a row. Moini Hiroti.
Yeah.
And, there's the mayor of Perth, the king of Perth.
The king of Perth. Like, the Perth team now need to get in and sign William Kennedy.
They do, and say you only play the home games.
Man, he was awesome.
Oh, he was so good.
And so, friend of the show, Sam Revel from Wobble and Jaw Sports, please go on and like and subscribe to his after you've liked and subscribed Rugby League Outlaws. Said that Will Kennedy was the best player on the field over 2 games.
Yeah, and he was there.
Yeah. Awesome performance from Will Kennedy.
Yeah, he was tremendous. In both sides of the ball.
Yeah, both sides of the ball. He was flat out, superb, right? My God, what do you do with him?
I don't know. I honestly...
Play him like this, you've got to re-sign him.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be giving him the contract. I'd be saying, you keep playing like that, you get a contract. And you string him along, with the dog and the bone.
Yeah.
Hey, close, Will, but no deal.
But you said up until Magic Round.
Yeah, it's a couple more weeks, 2 more weeks or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I sort of stand by that because Liam Eison's out for the season. Kay Dykes is out this weekend. He failed a HIA.
HIA, yep.
Thank you, AJ, for texting that through to me. But he's hardly a bloke you can rely on. Moini Hirati's probably the next man up at fullback, which I don't hate, but Will Kennedy's best is head shoulders above the rest.
Yeah. So, look, I thought it was a good performance from everyone. I still want to see more from Britt Nickera. Like, he's so good 20 metres out from the line. Let's see what you can do for the other 80 metres of the field.
Can I wrap the other bloke?
It was great to have Teague Wilton back.
Oh, he was so good. He kept Olakau'atu quiet. Now, I know Olakau'atu got the stinger late or the cork, but up until then, he didn't really do much. He ran like for 80 metres before the cork and went over 100 with a bust at the end. But T kept him really quiet, and I wrote on Zero Tackle, the only way they can beat us, it was Olakau'atu 10-8 Steak.
And the best thing about that was when his shoulder went down, and I don't know if it sounded like you could hear everything that the players were saying through the Fox microphones. But every time that Cronulla had the ball, Teague Wilton wanted to run because he knew that his opponent was busted. Yeah. And the more he ran at him and the more tackles he made Olakau'atu make, the slower he got up, the more he was hurt, and the less damaging he was.
Yeah, the last try, he didn't cover his man and we scored.
I thought Hiroti, again, solid. He's no Kailiro.
No, he's done the job.
But he has done the job. Good game from Ronaldo. Brilliant game from Sam Stone Street. Jesse Ramian back to his barnstorming best.
180 metres. Don't forget, he had that pass for Kennedy for that try too. Yeah. If he just takes a tackle, we're not talking about Kennedy in quite the same light.
I know. And then obviously Kennedy got that 100-metre try taken off of him.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Look.
Letter of the law.
Letter of the law, it was a correct decision. And as soon as it happened, I was worried.
Yeah.
Because I saw Talau, whoever it was, get knocked off. No. I'm okay with it, but if Cronulla lose on that, I'm probably very angry. It was a highlight reel. I was screaming for him to take the tackle because I felt
because I saw what happened as well. I was like, so if Will Kennedy gets dragged down a metre from the line and then Blake Brayley dives over from dummy half, I can't do anything about it.
Which I think something sucks in the rule. But you see Stone Street yelling for the ball, and when he dummied, I was like, oh God, he's going to score. And I thought, no, Dan, just calm down. It's his first replay. I was like, crap, we can take it off first.
Yeah.
And you see Nico line up the kick, and he had the tee, and he's like, fuck. I'm okay with it, but I think Talau milked it too.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
He doesn't deserve luck. Look what's happened in his first one.
I know. The next guy off the bench who was absolutely awesome as well, Sifa Talakai.
Monstrous.
Absolutely monstrous.
He played the ball extremely quickly for that first Stone Street try, and Trindle just read the numbers perfectly. Controversial. I don't think Katoa scores that try.
No, a lot of people have said that.
Because it goes 2 feet over his head.
It goes 2 feet over his head and he probably drops it because sometimes he's got feet for hands.
So what a take from Stone Street. You see him score and get up and like, that's what I'm about. And then that second try, that in and away kick.
Beautiful.
Stone Street scores, gets up, gives Trindle the big hug, and I just made my heart feel good.
Look, we're back. The Jets won.
So did Flegg. It was a very good week for the Sharks. Whole.
The SG ball got knocked out in the semi-finals though.
They did. They were up like 26-4 or 26-8 at half time.
Beautiful.
My mate Solzy messages me. He goes, "GG boys are flying." I was like, "Yeah, thanks, mate. We're going now."
Yeah. And we're gone.
You take the good with the bad. But for a full breakdown, make sure you check out Fins Up. We're actually going to get in the car. It's going to get hot and steamy. It is. And we're going to break it down.
That's because my air conditioning's broken.
Look, that too. We're going to break it down in full. But overall, mate, moving forward, I'm a lot happier, obviously, after a win going into this week. But I have a stat for you, and you know the stats. Cronulla in the sunshine, undefeated. At night time, haven't won a game. Now we're playing in the daytime this week, but we're playing the nights. This will decide whether we're any good or not.
Dan.
Talk to me, Terry.
It's time for some tips.
Let's do it. I'm tipping first this week.
Yeah, so I've got the full spreadsheet in here, and now the 2 points lost on a
Sharks money ball.
Yeah, on a Sharks money ball really hurts both of us.
Look, it is what it is.
And you just didn't have a good week.
No, look, I didn't, because I keep letting you tip and just tipping the opposite.
No, but we did this as paper rock, and you tried to cheat, and I...
Did I? Okay, well, this week I'm definitely cheating and going first.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Perfect round. No, actually not a perfect round.
No. Thursday night, Brookvale. Short turnaround for Manly.
Yeah, true, but they've had 8 games in a row at Brookvale. They go away once and they lose.
Was Hamali named?
I believe so. I don't know if he'll play.
I don't know if he'll play as well. Dragons had a really, really good win, but we saw them have a good win against Melbourne and not back it up.
Yeah, they can't.
Going out to Manly.
They're on a 2-game slide, mate. I'm going to tip the Sea Eagles at home. Turbo hasn't been named, but I do like Lehigh Hopewadi. I also think that Cherry Evans is, he's been a bit since he in the. So I think he'll go this week, and I think they'll win.
Yeah, I'm not picking the Dragons.
No, they're better than I gave them credit for. I think Valentine Holmes has been incredible, but I don't think Kyle Flanagan's ever played 2 games in a row. Prove me wrong, Kyle, because I like the story. But I think the Dragons get beaten.
And Kyle Flanagan was phenomenal last week. I thought he was the best player on the park. He only overshadowed David Fifita.
Yeah, fair call.
Good Friday, 4 o'clock game.
Great Friday.
Great Friday. This is don't even worry about the match for a second.
Yep.
Over 60,000 tickets have been sold for this game. And they're saying as well that they think now that the $10 tickets are out for the kids on Good Friday.
It's going to go.
Yeah, and I think you'll get a lot of parents that will go over to the Easter show as well early. And then,
so we've spent $600 on this. What's another 10?
What's another $10 going to this? Now the Dogs are the hosts against the Bunnies. The Dogs have had a tough game against Cronulla.
Yep.
A game where they didn't really get out of second gear against the Knights.
Yep.
A bye. Burton not named?
No, Burton's been named. Kick-out's on the extended bench.
Burton's been named. Kick-out on the extended bench. I don't care who you pick first in this one because I'm picking the Dogs. Yeah,
I'm picking the Dogs too, but I think the fight off the field's going to be better.
Yeah.
Because if Reggie goes one of those Bulldogs kids, they don't mess around.
No, they don't. There will be some
some usses.
Yeah, some rabbit heads getting drummed.
So I'm pretty confident in the Dogs, but hey, who knows?
And you know the thing about Souths as well is they have caused upsets this year.
They certainly have.
Yep.
Not this week.
Nope. 8 o'clock. Is this game at Redfern? Is this game at Redcliffe or Suncorp?
No, Suncorp.
It's at Suncorp, yeah. Probably because Melbourne have got a Queensland fan base.
Yeah, that's fair.
The Finns and the Storm.
Yep.
Really liked what I saw from the Finns last week. Herbie
too.
Farnworth is in incredible form. The Hammer has got his try-scoring form back as well. They dismantled Penrith in a way that Melbourne dismantled Penrith.
That's true.
Can they back it up?
If they were playing anyone other than the Storm, I would give that serious consideration. But unfortunately, they've drawn the short straw.
Yeah.
They've got a Jerome Hughes.
Yep.
He's been named Storm. Farlunga is actually on the wing, so I expect him to score 8 tries as well. I think Melbourne win, and I think Melbourne are pretty handy right now.
I don't want to tip the same as you, but every time I tipped the Dolphins last year, they lost. I'm not tipping.
Don't worry about it. This is totally understandable. Melbourne for me.
Yep. 5:30 on Saturday. We don't get a proper Super Saturday. We get a 2/3 Super Saturday.
We'll make it up.
It's the Warriors and the Broncos. Now, the Warriors were awesome against the Tigers and then were absolutely pathetic against the Storm, which to me says they're going to be awesome this week against the Broncos, who were really bad last week. Says they're going to be really good this week. So that should be a cracking game.
Could be the game of the round.
Could be, won't be.
My argument is that Brisbane are a heaps better football team, and I think they win easy.
Yeah, James Fisher-Harris out. Yeah, with the
they've named it's not Jacob Lillyman, but someone esque.
Yeah,
I think it might have been whoever. It's Jacob Lillyman.
Yeah, Jacob Lillyman. They got him out of retirement.
He's come back. Payne Haas is going to kill him. And
we can't go 4 from 4
No, but
the
look,
same.
Reece Walsh is due a good game.
He scored a try.
Yeah, but
I'll go the Warriors.
Okay, why not?
I don't care. I'll go the Warriors. Let me pick first in this game.
All yours.
Panthers. They're playing the Roosters.
All right, Chooks.
7:30 at Allianz.
This will be fun.
This will be fun. Look, if Penrith... Look, I'll say this. If Penrith lose 6 in a row, when I come back from my honeymoon, I will do the next show. If they lose this game, mark this down, I will do the next game in my Budgie Smugglers. In my Sharks Budgie Smugglers only.
Sweet.
If Penrith lose 6 in a row.
That's completely fair.
Go on Penrith.
I have a stat. I'll go to Roosters. Both halfbacks. You got rookie halfback who I can't remember from the...
Hugo Savala.
Yeah. And then you got some Nathan Clear or something.
Yeah.
Both only won 1 game this season.
Ooh.
I think the Chooks edge them because I think it'd be really funny to see you in the Budgie Smugglers.
Okay. 2 o'clock up on the Gold Coast. The Jamal Fogarty Cup. The Titans and the Raiders.
This is a game that's got me excited.
Yeah, cool.
This could be any.
Because I don't care who you pick in this game, because I'm picking the Raiders.
Well, what the hell? I'll go the Titans for lols. This game could be rugby league chaos. And people know I love my rugby league chaos. You've got the green machine versus the team that hits random as they run out.
Yeah.
It could be 30 all. It could be 60-0. Could be 60-0 this way. Delicious rugby league chaos.
Yeah. I was kind of worried about Canberra going up into Darwin.
Yeah.
And they didn't care.
No, not Darwin. They were playing Parramatta.
I know. And like Parramatta will be thankful that Darwin agreement is over. Done and dusted. From what I've seen from Canberra, I tried to tell you this in the preseason on the ladder predictions. Yeah. They are a pretty good footy team.
Yeah, a long way to go. I think their slide starts this weekend.
No, you don't. You don't believe that.
Not at all, but it's fun to say. And what the hey?
4 o'clock on your Easter. And this is the perfect way to ruin the Sharks' Easter.
Yeah, look, it certainly is. A team that can't score points is probably going to score 40.
Yeah, I mean, God, they've scored like 46 points.
Yeah, my worry is that they've been at home all week and they would be going to the supermarket and someone would be yelling, if you could only score like you pick up an apple or something. Yeah.
My kid scored 5 tries on the weekend.
Yeah, and Kalen Ponga's going to be sitting there drinking his strawberry milkshake and hiding in cubicles crying. You've made a grown man cry. I hope you're happy, Newcastle fans.
He'll get over it.
He certainly will. I am a little bit worried about what they'll do, but if Cronulla lose this game, I think leave them in Newcastle and fold the club. I'm taking the Sharks.
Oh, I'm taking the Sharks.
Okay, well... I'm tipping first. Screw you.
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm tipping the Sharks.
Yeah, well, there you go. Cronulla. So don't let me down, boys.
And then we have an Easter Monday game.
Sure.
Now, Mitchell Moses has been named to return.
He has.
Which is good because he was supposed to return in Magic Round against Cronulla. So hopefully he gets his good game out of the way and then Parramatta just...
Or he gets injured, gets in and injured again. I hope that doesn't happen.
I don't want him to get injured again.
That's exactly what happened last year.
Yeah, I don't want him to get injured again. But I think Moses has come back knowing now that there's an origin spot.
There's definitely an origin spot.
Like Jerome, like the Tigers are good and Jerome Luai is playing okay, but Jerome Luai has 1 try assist in 5 games or 4 games or whatever it is. So I think there's a spot there for Moses. And he's come back early with Origin. Like, Parramatta can't make the finals this year, and they won't win the comp. So he's probably got his eyes on Origin.
Exactly, and this screams to me that if you come back and if Parramatta lose the next 2 games, they're done. Like, I think they're done now, but they're officially done, according to statistics. I think it's like, just go out there and win us a couple games.
Do what you can.
Go play Origin and go to Bali.
Now, the Tigers, in the media, for all the wrong reasons, they've named Adam Dewey at 7. I don't like that. Jerome Luai needed to keep the 7 on his back, put Adam Dewey at 6. Luai's going to control everything. Like, I just don't get this whole, like, why mess it around?
Yes, fair.
It's just a like-for-like swap.
Yep, just change the numbers on that.
Yeah, whatever. Who you going?
I'll go to Tigers. I think they get galvanised by the news.
Yeah, okay, look, I don't want to tip the same as you.
Do it.
I don't want to tip the Eels.
Well done.
This was like me for the last 3 years when you made me tip the Tigers.
Mate, I can't make you tip
now
the Eels.
I want to tip the Tigers.
Look, tip the Tigers. I can't in good conscience do that to you.
Yeah, I tip the Tigers. Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws. Please sponsor us.
We're getting desperate now. Fanscaped! Now look, like and subscribe. Terry won't be here for a few weeks. There's no jokes this time.
Yep.
I'm gonna mix things up next week, potentially, or maybe not.